You're watching Coin 6 News with Jeff Gianola and Elizabeth Din. Watching out for you.
Out of all the stories I've reported on over the last 40 plus years, the case of the missing Martin family has been my obsession. I assumed it would be the one story in my career that would continue to haunt me long after I retired. I was wrong. Earlier this year, 67 years after the Martins disappeared, a local diver solved what was then Oregon's most baffling mystery. It's a big part of my journey and documented in tonight's Jeff's Journal. This family picture has haunted me for the last 30 years. Out of all the news stories I've reported on, the case of the Martin family became my obsession. On December 7th, 1958, Ken and Barbara Martin, along with their three daughters, Virginia, Sue, and Barbie, disappeared while taking a drive up the Columbia River Gorge, never to be seen again. Initial reports speculated the Martins accidentally drove their car into the water at Cascade Locks, but extensive searches at the time turned up empty. A Multnomah County detective named Walter Graven felt foul play was involved, bolstered by circumstantial evidence he uncovered. Graven's grandson, Greg, has also been haunted by this case.
He believes that it was a homicide and that it would be solved when that vehicle is located.
When the search at Cascade Locks turned up empty, Graven had a theory the Martins actually went missing at the Dalles, their car driven or pushed off a cliff above the Columbia. In 2018, on the 60th anniversary of the Martin disappearance, I presented another of my stories on the Martin mystery. And my report captured the attention of an experienced diver named Archer Mayo.
Well, at first it was a mystery. And first it was something, I had solved other mysteries in the river. I love doing that.
Using his scientific knowledge of the river and his extensive research on the unique architecture of Cascade Locks, Mayo felt certain the car was underwater at the locks, covered by tons of rocks and silt, layers that Mayo could identify according to geologic history.
So I recognized when I'm at the original level of soil, because in 1964, there was a flood that made this gray, very, very fine grit. And then when I hit to that level, I know that I'm back in the original car.
For 7 years, Mayo probed and dug through tons of rocks and debris, never giving up, at times risking his life.
It's dangerous. Yeah, it's really dangerous.
Last fall, Mayo's grit and determination paid off. He uncovered what appeared to be the Martin vehicle, a 1954 Ford station wagon, upside down, embedded in silt and mud.
The highest part of the car was about 7 feet from the surface of the river bottom, 50 feet down. Okay, so we're about 55 feet down, and then the rest of the car is much deeper.
In March of this year, the Hood River Sheriff attempted to bring the car to the surface. I was there reporting live. This was a 2-day affair with a giant crane that was brought in on a barge from Portland. But the attempt failed when only the undercarriage of the car surfaced, breaking away from the rest of the vehicle. Undeterred, Mayo spent this last summer diving down to what remained of the car, carefully excavating and uncovering clues and fragments of evidence, including human bones. He also found a camera case with Ken Martin's name and address.
Yeah, that was the big one. I mean, because Ken was famous for always having 2 cameras with him. And this camera was just right on the entrance where I go into the car.
The bones have been turned over to the state medical examiner, who continues to investigate. And while Mayo's determination solved one of Oregon's oldest mysteries, we will probably really never know why the Martins' car went into the water. An accident? Or was foul play involved? For Mayo, it's enough to know he brought closure for so many people. And for me, the realization that journalism can be a powerful tool in inspiring others to do remarkable things.
If I could just take a second to thank you for you kept this torch burning, and you did everything you could in your privilege and your power to keep this thing about the Martins out there.
And Archer Mayo joins us live here in the Coin 6 studios. Archer, I want to thank you. What drove you that 7 years, your determination to find an answer? What inspired you to find out what happened?
Well, it was just a mystery at first, but the more I got into it and the more I found out about the locks and started finding secrets that no one knew about, and I really knew I was on I was on the trail, and I couldn't give up once I had that confidence.
You know, your story not only inspired me, but it inspired our viewers, thousands of viewers. And tonight we want to award you, and I want to show a close-up of this. This is the Coin Inspiration Award to Archer Mayo. And let me read what it says. It says, "Your story of determination and perseverance is inspirational. May your life journey always be an example for others to follow." I think your story is you believed in something, Archer, and you did not give up, because there were a lot of naysayers that told you, oh, it can't possibly be there.
That's right. That's right. And I didn't do it alone. There's been, including you, there's 10 or 15 people from 1958 till now who got this virus of wanting to know what had happened to try to bring them justice. And I just am the person who got to cross the line, but it was definitely a relay race.
You know, in my story, I say we really will never know what happened to the Martins, but you told me something when you touched that car. Tell our viewers kind of went through your soul when you touched their car for the first time and what you were thinking.
Yeah, well, you know, it had been a mystery that I was working on, so kind of it was my mystery. And then when I really saw it, and I knew it was them, the reality of their reality became mine a little bit. Like to witness, even all these years after, to know this car went in and they were alive for a certain amount, and the pain and the suffering, and just so much. I hadn't really been feeling that, and that really landed in me at that point.
Well, once again, thank you for inspiring
Jeff.
so many people, and I'll officially present you with the Coin Inspiration Award. Archer Mayo, you're one in a million, you really are, and may your continued efforts and stuff inspire others to do the impossible when people say it can't be done.
Oh, that's so sweet, Jeff. And I'm so glad I got to do it before you retired. I mean, what a joy that is, isn't it?
Me too.
Yeah.
Me
it's
too.
Super special. Thank you so much.
Archer, thank you so much.